Hey, we need to lock in. We need to really follow our goals and succeed in our life. We're in the middle of the year. If nothing has changed, it's because you haven't changed anything, right? You have your goals for the year, you have your goals for the month, but if you hadn't hit them, what are you doing, right? And this is something that can refer to me as well, right? I want to make sure I talk about what I do and I want to talk about the things that I could do better on, right? But keeping each other accountable, that's what men do. Keeping each other in our goals and our routine and making sure we're disciplined, that's what real men do, right? And I'm part of it. I'm part of it. I'm not different from y'all, right? But one thing that surely needs to be done is to change. We need to make the financial success that we want, right? And once you make that money, the thing is that about the problems, the circumstances, the situations that may be holding you off right now from succeeding your potential, or the situations that you frequently don't like that you keep receiving on your own personal day by day basis, it's something that you can't control, right? But think about it like this. Let's say, for example, your focus is not on the problems. Your focus is how to overgrow that and actually find a solution for that problem, which is getting better at getting money. If you make money, you can walk out at any situation that you don't like, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about your own personal preferences. It's about your own status. It's about your own standards. So whenever you follow your own standards, you follow your own morals, and you have everything succeeding in your own environment, which is your world, it's something exceeding. It's something that nobody can break, right? And you have to make sure you at the best state of mind, right? Whenever it comes to money, it's not about how hard you work. It's not about how smart you are. It's about how you frequently become the person that just attracts good things, attracts good positive outcomes, right? Because at the end of the day, if it was about hard work, all of us, we would have been rich, right? Don't get me wrong, your work ethic has to be there, but just because your work ethic is good doesn't mean you will be rich. Or just because you're smart doesn't mean you will be rich either. You can be also lazy, but you'll be smart as well, right? But at the end of the day, it's just about who you are as a person, how you value yourself, your self concept, and how positively you can attract good things into your life, right? So one thing that I would tell you is that your goals have to be a goal that is something that is not limited. Don't limit yourself, right? At the end of the day, you can always do small goals, small goals and keep stacking up. But don't be scared to ask anything, right? If you want $1 million, you want $1 million, right? If you want $1 billion, you want $1 billion, right? At the end of the day, there's no such thing as getting 3,000 in a month, 4,000 a month. No, you can do more than that. 3 or 4,000 is like you're putting a barrier into your own potential. You're putting your own barrier, right? But at the end of the day, always be grateful for what you have, because once you are grateful, once you're appreciative, you're basically putting this grateful abundance relationship into money, right? You're grateful that you received 3,000 this month. You're grateful that you received 4,000 this month, right? So it just becomes like a thing, a great aligned relationship with money. And whenever you receive money, that's what you receive, right? But what I'm trying to say with the limited belief thing, don't belittle yourself. Don't set the bar too low, right? Set the things that you actually want to do and want to receive in your own world. Such as if you want to get, instead of getting like 5,000, get 10,000. Instead of getting like 15,000, get 30,000. You see the difference there? It's like you're basically going higher than what you actually believe, because if you don't believe in anything, man, you don't know it, right? And you won't know it until you try. That's the thing of it, right? But also, just you gotta have major goals, and if your major goals don't get you out of your own comfort zone, your goals are not realistic. Your goals are not fulfilling anything, not making no changes. Your goals have to come make you out of your own comfort zone. You gotta stop being comfortable. Your comfort zone will kill you. A lot of people tend to not reach their goals because they're really comfortable. They're comfortable on where they're at, right? And it doesn't mean that every day you have to feel like this sense where you have to be uncomfortable. No. What I'm saying is that if you're getting so used to being comfortable and also being uncomfortable, it's a difference. Like, there's a difference between being comfortable and uncomfortable when it comes into you making a change, working on yourself, or just being productive, right? A lot of people tend to confuse being comfortable and uncomfortable. Being comfortable means that you're comfortable, right? You're comfortable where you at. You have this sense of relief, which is good, right? Being comfortable is not wrong. Comfortability is something that we need, you know. Every athlete has comfortability. Every successful person has comfortability, right? But what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to feeling uncomfortable, whenever you do your things, such as working on yourself, going to a gym, working on your business, learning knowledge, you have to be uncomfortable in the four senses when it comes into you getting better. You cannot be comfortable while you're doing all these things, because at the end of the day, if nothing changes, nothing will change. And that's the concept. You don't have to feel a sense of relief or just a sense of like you being comfortable when you're doing your things that you're supposed to do, because the urgency is not there. The emotion behind it, the passion behind it, and it's not there. You're just being comfortable, just being nonchalant about it. No, don't be nonchalant about it. Be free about it, be open about it, and be a student of life, right? And this is kind of like a sense, right? It's just a sense where if your mind is not telling you to change, if your mind is not telling you that you need to do work, if your mind is not telling you to do something while you're laying down, while you're on your phone, or, you know, just doing something, your mind is not properly trained. Your mind is not properly programmed to basically make sure you do something while you slack off, right? But it's not gonna come easy, but it's also not impossible. Nothing is impossible, realistically. Everything that is easy, I would say, is kind of like not. It's really simple, right? There's no like story you need to create, or there's no journey. There's no growth on that. When it's really easy, like you're basically are kind of like a master of it, right? There's no grind. There's no you leveling up. There's not you growing, right? But think about it like this, right? If it's really difficult, if you think it's really impossible to do it, it's because you need to keep leveling up. Think about it as a video game. That's how I think about it. The more you level up, the more outcome you will get. The more better, you're more greater, the more basically stronger you will get technically, right? But instead of it being easy, you basically, you know, making a game where it's easy at the end of the day, but you keep leveling up as it is, right? And at some point, you're gonna have to keep it like real structured. Nothing can break you. Make sure that any certain circumstances, any certain situations don't bother you, and the outcomes don't let you have a burden on yourself. Don't weaken yourself just because stuff is not going right. Don't put yourself in a low bar just because, you know, the best is just to come, right? Everything that you're structured to do, it is because the best is just to come. The best is yet to come because you're working on yourself. If you're leveling up, if you're working on yourself, you're gonna get stronger. No matter what, you're gonna get stronger. You're gonna learn more about knowledge, more about information, more about your business, whatever it is, whatever concept you want to do, whatever in the world you want to make a change, you're gonna make that change because you're already changing, right? And just kind of like you gotta have like this sense that everything is just gonna get better, right? Everything's just gonna get better, but only if you do the right things. If you're doing the right things, but also you're slacking off, you're only working on yourself for like 2 days in a week, nothing is gonna change. I'm telling you right now, your process is the slowest as it could be. You're not gonna be different. You're not gonna be changing, and don't count that as you changing, right? Because if you're only putting like 20% on you developing yourself, developing your mind, what are you actually doing? What are you actually doing? Seriously, what are you doing? Your life is not going to change. Your finances is not going to change. Maybe you would change your mindset, but just because you change your mindset doesn't mean you have the knowledge, doesn't mean you have the perspective, and doesn't mean you have become that self concept to be the person to receive all the success, right? So it's kind of like a everyday grind. Every day, try to get better 1%. I don't care if it's a little thing that you learned. I don't care if it's you learning how to change your tire. I don't care if it's, learning how to create a website. A lot of people don't know how to create a website. Literally, I just learned how to create a website yesterday. Yesterday, I just learned how to create a website, right? But all these things need to be self accountable. Train your mind to let you know and give you signals every time you're slacking off, every time you're looking at your phone, every time you're calling a girl, every time you're texting a female, or whatever you're doing, texting a man, calling a man, females as well. Make sure your mind is telling you to do the right things, right? But also, just have a peace of mind while you're doing it. Don't overstress yourself. You are where you're supposed to be at, right? Always think to yourself that all I'm trying to say is that we need to lock in. That's about it. But yeah, man, it's been Fredo Saga. Let's leave the dimension expansion with some new game and just input into the real world. Let's get it.